Okay, so I'm going to go over the Bloom plugin here. So Bloom is a plugin that's going to allow you to place pop-ups on your website. Now, it's mainly used for placing like email subscriptions and newsletter subscriptions, things of that nature. However, what we're going to do, or what I'm going to show you in this video, is how we can twist the Bloom plugin to actually work for us rather than against us. Now, if you want to use the Bloom plugin to display your email subscriptions or things like that, you're free to do so. However, in this video, I'm just going to show you how to make it like a little pop-up for you. So we're going to be seeing a lot of things like email subscriptions and subscribing fields, things like that. We're going to go and ignore those, and I'm going to skip over those and show you what we need to fill out to make our form, or make our pop-up, excuse me, make our pop-up look better. So I'm going to go ahead and click New Opt-in, and it's going to ask me what type of opt-in I want. Now I'm going to choose pop-up, and so we can ignore these ones here. Pop-up is just going to be a standard pop-up on the website. Somebody visits it, they receive the pop-up. It's really that simple. So now we're seeing it's actually buffering. Okay, great. So this opt-in name here, this is just a setup for the form, but this opt-in name is actually not going to be like the title or anything like that. I'm going to call this opt-in 1. And what this is going to be, it's going to be the name of the opt-in that you recognize. Nobody else is going to see this but people in the back end here. Now for this form integration, it's a little bit different. I'm actually going to change this select email provider to custom HTML form down at the bottom. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow me, this is actually going to be the message of the actual pop-up, the content of the pop-up. Now it's a little strange to think about, but I'm just going to say the state of California is now on lockdown because we are, unfortunately. Um, so I'm going to leave the message there, and then I'll click Save and Exit. But before I do that for two reasons. This is actually required for me to actually post a pop-up, and then there's another place we can place the message, but it doesn't look as good. So I'm going to show you that placing it here is actually going to be more beneficial. So I'm going to go ahead and click Design Your Opt-in. I'm sorry, I said Save and Exit before, but I mean next Design Your Opt-in. So now it's going to ask me to choose a template, and so you'll see there's a lot of different templates to choose from. I'm going to choose this little green one here, but look at all the different templates we have available. Okay, so I'm going to choose Next and Customize now. And so the nice thing about Bloom is, well, let's go ahead and change the title first. So I'm going to change the title here from subscribe to our newsletter to say COVID-19 update. And here's the opt-in message I was referring to before. So you can place your message into this little field here. I'm going to say, take a look at the information below. And now when I click preview, this little eyeball here, or it might say preview there, but when I preview this, it's going to post a pop-up for me to look at right now. I'm not crazy, right? I clicked preview. Okay, there we go. So here it says COVID-19 update, and there's that opt-in message to take a look at the information below. And then here is that actual form integration, the custom HTML that I placed there. Okay, so this is what it currently looks like now. So let me go ahead and remove that because I don't need that there. And then for image orientation, I'm going to change that to no image. Now you can have an image there. That's just the default, and you can upload an image. I'm just going to take off the image though. Then we get to opt-in styling, and this is things like the background color. If I want to change that green color, or change the header font or body font, or even change the text color to say dark. So even though we have the green with the white text, it's going to be green with the black text now. Then we get to corner style, so it had squared corners, but if I change that to rounded, I can do that as well. Or even provide a border. I don't want to provide a border, so I'll just leave that with no border. Now let's preview that and take a look at my changes. Okay, so no image. The image is now gone. I've changed the text to dark text, so this was white before, now it's dark. And see the corners are actually rounded there, so it's no longer a square pop-up. Okay, so I'm gonna change that to light though. Okay, we can skip this form setup. This has to do with the actual form. So look, I can change the form on the right, or form on the left, or form on the bottom. I'm just gonna leave that how it is though. I don't think it really impacts the actual pop-up in any major ways. Then we get to form styling, and this is again one of those where if I want to change the text color of the actual, if I want to change like, let me preview that again, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so this is that form styling here. So if I want to change the text color, that's going to be that form text color. Or the background, I can change the background with that form background color. But for the most part, those are the only settings you'll actually change. Don't worry about this field orientation or the field corner style. Just this text color and background color there. Okay, now the form edge style. So let me go ahead and change that to say, this looks like the same one there, but let's just say this little arced one and preview that. Alright, so no real change there. It doesn't look like that really does anything, so I'm going to set that back there. No need to change that. Okay, so we can skip the form footer text, we can skip the success message text, or even the custom CSS going on there. So these really just pertain to if we actually have a form in there. Alright, so next is display settings. And this is going to be how this intro comes into the page, if it fades in, if it slides right, slides up, slides down, all these different options available. I'm going to keep it with fade in though, that way it's just a simple pop-up going on. Okay, then after 20 seconds I should be receiving that. I kind of want to change that to say 10 though, just so people will get to the site, have a chance to take a look at a few things, and then they'll receive it. And then we have some triggers here, like trigger after inactivity. And that's going to trigger whenever, like say they don't do anything on the page for some time. There's trigger at the bottom of post, and that's going to be once they reach the bottom of the posting, then they'll actually receive the pop-up. Or trigger after commenting, that's after they leave a comment. After scrolling, that's after they scroll a little bit. I like that one, so I'm going to keep that one there and take off the trigger at the bottom of the post. So you see I can set up multiple triggers so that this is actually going to be able to um, trigger multiple times, say after scrolling and after commenting and after purchasing, things of that nature. Or even a trigger on click, so the moment they click, they receive the pop-up. So that's also available to you. And so we have display once per session. So if you only want this shown one time, you can go ahead and select that one. Hide on mobile. So if you don't want this to be received on mobile devices, I can't imagine why we would want that, but that option is available. And then auto close after subscribe just means if we were to implement the subscribe portion, then it will just close itself down automatically. Then we get to display on, and this is things like, I want to set this to everything, so no matter where they are on my website, it's going to be received. Then we have do not display on these pages, so you can exclude some pages from receiving that, say an intranet page, or say you're like on a news article page or something like that, or even just do not display on some posts as well. So I'm just going to click save and exit, and that's that. That's the entire pop-up. Okay, so there's that opt-in one. So that's the opt-in name that I was referring to in the very beginning. And we don't have to worry about any of this going on there. Let me go back to the front page and let me refresh this. All right, after some scrolling, there we go. So it says COVID-19 update. Remember, this is the opt-in title, and this is the form integration. So let me go back to that. And at the very far right here, this is where we can delete some opt-ins. We can also edit this one here by clicking the little cog symbol. Let me go ahead and edit this. All right, so the form integration again. is this one right here. So that's our little message. And then over in design, that's things like the opt-in title was a COVID-19 update. And again, leave the opt-in message uh, empty so that it doesn't appear there. But the option is up to you. This is just a standard pop-up that I've made using the Bloom plugin.